This week, the United Nations Security Council renewed its arms embargo on Somalia. This despite a spirited appeal by Somalia's UN ambassador to have the barrier lifted.
Sanctions should be directed not against the federal government of Somalia, but rather against the terrorist group Al-Shabaab, who are a threat to the peace and security in Somalia. Yearly adoption of the Somali sanction resolutions for nearly 3 decades should not be a monumental event, more importantly than the effectiveness of the sanctions on the ground. Council members should be guided by the compelling evidence, not intuition or emotions, on the substance of this resolution. And the evidence indicates that in order to achieve success and avoid unintended consequence, the implementation of the sanctions should be regularly assessed and modified in order to properly achieve our objective of defeating Al-Shabaab and restricting their finance and illegal flows of arms in Somalia.
A panel of experts is commissioned to come back with evidence on a regular schedule to decide whether the embargo should continue. Once again, the recommendation by the panel was to keep the sanctions on. Somalia's ambassador pointed out that the restrictions have been in place for almost 30 years. He complained that there is a lack of confidentiality in the process, particularly regarding federal member states. The diplomat said that the situation leads to leaks and false accusations. Osman was clearly frustrated with both the decision and the process as he addressed the Security Council.
We regret once again, for the 3rd year in a row, that our important inputs have not been considered to reach consensus. Federal government of Somalia goes on record again in seeking to lift the sanctions imposed on Somalia since 1992. The arms embargo on Somalia is one of the longest of United Nations sanction regimes with the widest mandates.
The argument from the Somali side has long been that the embargo prevents them from gaining the needed resources to effectively fight Al-Shabaab. The case for keeping the embargo is that Somali security forces can't secure weapons and they end up in the hands of terrorists. At the end of each reporting period for the past 3 years, the Somali government feels it has made a strong case that it has cleaned up corruption in its ranks. Many Somalis expressed distress or anger over the decision online. Soon after the UN decision, Ghana deployed 113 soldiers to Baidoa to join the African Union peacekeeping operations. Many commentators see an attempt by the UN and AU to keep foreign forces in place for financial reasons by keeping Somali security units under-resourced. ADN TV will continue to report on diplomatic and security developments throughout Somalia.